Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line in community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's up, everybody? Welcome to New to Mythics, episode number 22 with my new buddy, Heinrich Hofmann. Welcome, sir. How are you today?
Morning. How you doing? I'm doing great, Greg. How about yourself?
I'm excellent. I'm getting the sleep out of my eyes a little bit, but I'm well. I'm ready. Today's Thursday.
Last day of the work week for me, man. I'm off Friday.
Eve. Nice. Weekend plans?
Not too much. Just hanging out with my dad. Got to go help him out with a couple things at his place. They live close by, and then I got stuff to do toy wise. I got a couple trades I'm working on with some folks, and
man, I love trades, man.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. So, and then just doing stuff with the wife and our dog. So,
Billie Eilish Hoffman.
Billie Eilish Hofmann, golden retriever mix. We rescued her in May. So she's a sweetheart.
You sent me a picture. Let's see if I have her.
Yeah.
Picture of her.
Picture with her toys.
I have a ton of slides here.
I know. I sent you a lot.
Oh no, I didn't add her. I didn't.
That's okay.
I will put it in the comments when the show airs of lovely young Billie Eilish Hofmann.
You know what? She's a great dog. She likes when I get packages and I open up, and she likes to look. She likes to sniff. But thankfully, she's not a chewer, and so she doesn't chew my figures.
Mm-hmm.
But she has plenty of her own toys, as you saw from the picture. So we play.
Absolutely.
We try to play every day. We try to play fetch within the condo. And she, after 10 minutes, she's worn out, but she loves all her toys. She didn't know how to play when we got her. So my wife was a little disappointed because we had all these toys. I said, well, it takes a little time, and she got comfortable around us, and she now loves playing with her toys every day.
Was she a puppy?
When you got her? No, she was 2. She's 2. So we just got her, like I said, in May. So the place family that owned her before, they just had the dog, her and her sister and a few other animals, and they just didn't take care of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
And so the owner of the house told the person they were kind of hoarding and they need to get rid of some of the animals. So, but we were very lucky. We got her, and she's been great. We love it. And nice. we had lost our previous dog back in February of 2023.
I'm sorry.
She was 15. That. Yeah, thanks. She was 15 years old, and my wife and I said we will get another dog, and it took a year for us to pay. It was very painful for her.
Yeah,
she adopted her when she was 4.
Yes, I kind of went through the same thing. I had a dog, and she passed, and I was like, I'm not buying any more dogs. I'm not getting any more. And then when I met my fiance, and after a while, I was like, you know what? Maybe this will help getting a new puppy. It'll help. Not forget, but kind of, it kind of helps your heart heal a little bit. And she's got a wonderful little dog too. So those two are best buddies. But we got the Chewy boxes. So whenever we would get a box, they would think that it's for them. And I'm getting boxes all the dang time. So my dog is like, what do you got? What do you got? What you got? And thinking it's hers. Now we don't have the Chewy box anymore because it was too damn expensive. But for a while though, she, like, every box that would come in, she would think that it was a new toy box. Like, no,
yeah, we had a friend of my wife's gave us a gift basket for her that had some treats and some toys, and she was so excited. And I had another friend of mine who had some samples of some stuff and sent it to me, and we've given her a few. We're holding some back in case some get damaged, so we don't want to give her everything.
Right? Yes, you don't want her to be overwhelmed. And sometimes the dogs, they learn from other dogs, so it could be that Billy didn't learn from the other dog as much, and maybe the other dog didn't know either. So
No, no, that's what we thought. That's what we thought. So, but she's been great. We've been getting her socialized. We took her to doggy daycare last week for the first time to so she could get a little socialization and evaluation, and she did well. So we're gonna try, a couple times a month to get her in there and do an overnight, and then when we get to Legion's Con, come November, we'll put her in there Thursday. So we'll be gone. We'll leave here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and go back Monday. So
yeah, yep. That's awesome. She's beautiful.
thank you.
So let's get to it.
Yeah.
You sent me a ton of slides. I've never had so many slides, but that's a good thing because we're able to show kind of the stuff that you were interested in as a kid and also now. So the stuff that you sent me, is this stuff that you had when you were little, or some of it, or is it?
No, just a little. I'd say a few things. A lot of it is stuff that I've accumulated, I would say, in the past 25, 26 years. Like I'll pull one here because he's too small to see in the big pictures. So that's my original Boba Fett figure.
Yes.
Christmas of is either 78 or 79. My parents got him for my brothers and I, and they put him in our stocking. So that's my original Boba Fett.
Great gift.
Yeah.
Whenever I would get a Star Wars figure from a family member, it was they didn't really think about what they bought. Like they would buy me an Ugnaught or like, the lamest figure, like the medical droid or something. It's like, buy me a villain or hero. I'm sounding like a jerk, but
no.
It's awesome that they got you Boba Fett.
Yeah. My parents were amazing. I got two younger brothers. And we're really close. I'm born November 71. Chris is December 72. Mark's October 74. So up until right before high school, we all liked either similar things or we were, we only had one TV, so we got to watch. We would watch whatever TV station we all agreed on. And we all collected Star Wars up to a point, and then we started going Joe's. I got into GI Joe's, at the time they released back in '82. My brother did Cobra. My brother Chris did Cobra.
Nice.
And then my brother Mark did Transformers. So my brother Mark was an OG Transformers. My brother Mark sold off a lot of the stuff he needed to pay some bills and stuff like that, but he has a few pieces, and I've gotten him some stuff for birthdays and Christmas.
Yeah.
Chris got out of it fast. He wasn't interested. He just didn't figure it out.
So did getting that Boba Fett, did that start your passion for Boba Fett? Or
yes, yeah,
okay.
I saw him way back when the Christmas special that came on for Star Wars, or the holiday special, Star Wars, the disaster, and I got Boba Fett, and I thought he was the coolest. And yep, there's a picture of my Boba Fett figure collection.
Yes.
And that's not even everything. I still have some stuff on the wall, and there's that picture of Boba Fett is autographed by Jeremy Bulloch, the actor.
Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful gentleman. Met him at a Chicago show. He had a really cool Boba Fett pencil case, and I saw it on his table. I said, "Oh, is that for sale?" He goes, "No, that's for somebody else, but I might have another one in my room I could bring you." And I said, "Oh, that'd be great. I'll give you my name." And I did, and it was $15, and he signed it, and it's one of my treasured possessions. He couldn't have been nicer. And unfortunately at the time, cell phones didn't have full cameras, so and I didn't bring a camera with me. I would have loved to have gotten a picture with him, but
absolutely.
But he was really cool. But Boba Fett just attracted me. He's that quiet loner, even though he plays the bad guy in the movies with stuff, but just something about that armor. And I've always kind of been attracted to those guys. Batman, Snake Eyes.
I love the mystery. That was one thing that kind of bothered me about the newer trilogy, is that they kind of took away the mystery. I liked not really knowing much about him. Like my imagination would kind of fill in the blanks of who Boba Fett was, and it would always change, or what does he look like? Is he an alien underneath?
Right.
So I kind of wish that he was still that mystery, like Snake Eyes. They did show his face, but I liked that, you didn't really know what he looked like, or just that mystery about the character just makes them more interesting to me.
Absolutely. So I got to say, I enjoyed Mandalorian.
That
I,
is a good show.
it was such a great show. John Favreau did a wonderful job, kind of making it that old Western. It felt, I literally
Mhm.
felt like Clint Eastwood could walk onto that set and feel at home.
Yeah,
Such
John
great
John.
actors and actresses, and and then the directors that they had on there, from Bryce Dallas Howard,
Mhm,
um, and a few Robert Rodriguez,
mhm.
who actually did the episode where they brought Boba Fett back into it. I was going crazy. I was loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Favreau, uh, not single-handedly, but Favreau saved Marvel and Star Wars. You know, he
100%,
did
man.
Iron Man and then he did Mando. So that's uh that's pretty amazing that he did,
Yeah.
two
So
things that really revitalized both franchises.
he did. So, but yeah, and Boba Fett's fun. Like I've collected, I've gotten more stuff probably in the last 10 years than I had before. But he's been fun. I've had the ships. I've had the new release ships. I've got a Boba Fett wall up here where I've got the backpack a friend of mine gave me for a thing.
I think I have that. Let me see.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
there's
Well,
the
it's
helmet.
awesome. It's awesome too that that there's stuff to buy. When we were younger, there was not really a lot of, like, I had the underoos and I had the figure. That was it. There was not a lot
Right.
to buy merchandise wise. You know.
Yeah. No, and you can pick and choose whatever fits your budget, whatever feels good. I mean, I had a mug someone gave me for Christmas years ago. Unfortunately, got broken because it was just inexpensive mug, but I appreciated the sentiment. And
Mhm.
it's
Absolutely.
fun. I have another Boba Fett backpack, which is my go-to backpack when I'm going to shows and stuff like that. So
You're gonna need a bigger backpack for Legion's Con.
I am. I got a couple big plastic bags that I got at Maryland Toy Fair.
There you
So
go. There you go. Yeah, I have an IKEA bag, and I told some buddies, I'm like, I'll get you guys IKEA bags because I don't know if you've been to IKEA. Their bag is
yep,
massive,
massive. Yeah,
massive.
no, I know. Four Horsemen needs to kind of develop a convention bag or something like
That
that. Put logo it up and
that's a good idea.
make
That's a
it in
good
China,
idea.
and hey, recycle it. Hey guys, bring it to your shows. Bring it to the shows. Get a
My
10% discount.
my friend Mark, he made his own. He asked Walter if he could use the Cabal insignia on his. He has like a convention bag kind of thing,
Yeah,
like a fabric.
yeah.
And Walter's like, yeah, sure, go ahead, just don't sell it. But he hand painted um,
Oh wow.
the whole he's an artist, but it looks amazing. I'm like, can you make me one of those? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Convention bags used to be all the stuff. I went to. Have you ever been to San Diego Comic Con?
Yes, I'm from California, so I
Okay.
would go probably from 2013 to about 2017,
Okay.
and we would go every year, and it was amazing.
I went in '96 and I went in '99,
Okay.
and I've got the convention bags. They're not good for toy shows. They're nice little for comic shows. They work well.
Yes.
Uh, but
Yeah,
for toy shows, but yeah, something like that would be great because it's
absolutely.
cool.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. We should suggest that to them. So after what you said about Boba Fett, something's been a question in my mind. Was did your parents know, like, that you liked Boba Fett, or was it just a random
Um, I
figure,
I
pull?
I think they knew we liked it from the show. Like it was cool, and he was gonna be in Empire Strikes Back. My parents were great with getting us figures and toys and stuff like that and they're from two different continents. My dad's from Austria, my mother's from Brazil. We met here in the States, and
Hmm.
they took us to go see Star Wars in downtown Vienna, Virginia. The old movie theater doesn't exist anymore. And so they got us stuff. I mean, I got Chewbacca, I got C-3PO, I got Han Solo. And when I was collecting Joes, my parents got all the great stuff, for us. I got one Christmas, I got the Bobat, I got the Vamp, I got the Hal, I got the MMS. Um, so yeah, there's all my Emperor's Royal Court there that I built up
That's
over the years.
awesome.
there's some kit bashes in there that I've done too from some of the expanded universe of Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought the Imperial Royal Guards were super cool.
I love them. Again, kind of like Boba Fett, mysterious. They have a brief appearance. They've done Dark Horse did a really cool series, Crimson Empire, 3 parts. And I was head over heels with that, and I got those figures, both the 3 3/4 inch and also the Black Series. And but I bought them. I kit bashed them. I didn't like the stoic plastic shell. Like they did it was just a piece of plastic and put the robe over. I'm like, that's not really cool. So I did the more articulated ones, and I popped the heads on it and gave them the sabers. So it's the fun group. That's my ode to the Imperials there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love it. Let's see what else we got here.
Oh, the Hellfire Club.
So let's start though with you as a kid. So you're into Star Wars.
Yep.
Your brother was a Transformer guy.
Yep.
Your other brother, you said
he did Cobra. He did the evil guys. He did Cobra, and then he did Megatron and Soundwave and all those bad guys.
So, and you guys were cool. You guys were able to share toys and stuff.
We would play, but it got to a point when some of us were playing maybe a little too rough. My parents were like, "All right, you stay on your side of the room. You stay on your side of the room." So
take it easy on those toys.
Yeah, and then we did Legos. My grandparents would send us Legos every year for Christmas from overseas.
I love that.
Yeah, and so my dad.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. My dad did a table, a big 8-foot table, and he put wax paper down, and he put duct tape and did it in sections. So we had stuff in sections that we would go down and play with as kids.
That's awesome. I love that. Legos were such good imagination. You know, when I was young, you're about my age. I think you might be a little bit older, but we just had a box. It was my grandparents. I think it was for their son, my uncle, but it was just a box of bricks and, building things. There was wheels, there was, different colored bricks. There was a little green platform for the grass,
Yep.
So it was kind of like, build a house or build a square structure, but you could use your imagination and build, whatever you could think of, you could try and build it. And I just thought that was so cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of the space ones because that was kind of at the time of the Enterprise was the first space shuttle that never got off the ground, but then Columbia and all that. So they were doing a lot of stuff with space and space stations. So we had a lot of those. So those were fun.
That's cool. And I love that your parents were supportive of, realizing that toys are good for, mental development and imagination and stuff like that. I love that your parents were all for that and were, willing to, buy you guys those toys to, to help your imagination and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, and it was kind of during the heyday of the 70s, 80s, where we had all the great cartoons going on. You had like the Hanna-Barbera stuff. You saw there was a picture you had of the Hercules figures, which those never came out back then, and I wish they had because they would have sold a ton. But I think it was bad. Here it is.
There we go.
Yeah, those are the ones that Toynami came out with back in very early 2000s. And I was working with them. I used to work for a company called anotheruniverse.com. Ooh, your dog wants in.
No, he watches the street. We're upstairs and there's a window and he will watch people going by. So he thinks the whole neighborhood is like his turf.
Oh yeah.
He's a little dog. He's got that complex.
Got the complex.
This is my turf. Yep. So he'll bark at them from upstairs.
Yeah, but yeah, Hercules I love the show. Such an exciting show. Space Ghost, Johnny Quest was a huge show. But Thundar the Barbarian, love Thundar. I'm actually trying to work on doing a couple of customs. I've been inspired by a couple of ones I've seen on various sites and Instagram. So I've got a couple of the figures in mind already. I'm going to use a Khazar body for Thundar. My wife's going to get her sewing kit out and do the clothing for him. I saw a really cool custom using the Sasquatch Wendigo figure from Marvel Legends. So for Ukla, and I'm like, that would work.
Yeah, Yeah, that's
And
sweet.
then Ariel's one I'm gonna have to figure out. It'll probably be a kit bash of some stuff from, that I've got for Marvel Legends. I've got a few extra figures, and I'll kind of tap into a couple people. I might give my buddy David Williams a call and see if he'd like to work on
Absolutely.
do an aerial for me, because
I mean, if you're
because
using Marvel Legends, there's a million. There's a ton of figures that you can, you know,
yeah,
that you can use. There's so many.
yeah.
So was there other toys that you guys growing up together that you guys bridged off into? So like after Transformers, so you guys started to buy GI Joe.
Yeah, you know what? It stopped probably because I was entering high school in '85, and so I my toy collecting like just basically dropped. Star Wars was done at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I had done like 3 or 4 years of GI Joe. I think I did probably another year into high school, and then I kind of stopped it because nobody was collecting action figures in high school back
Mm-hmm.
then. I kept my stuff around for a long time, and then after college, my mom put it away, and then I sold a bunch of it off. I needed moving money after college. I sold all the Joes that I had remaining off to a guy at a local toy store that I knew. I kept a few things. One of the ones I kept was actually it was one of my early kit bashes. Snake Eyes.
Oh yes.
So I've got a couple of my
Love
I
it.
kept a couple of my early Joes that I really want. I got rid of all the vehicles, but Snake Eyes, this was a version 2, version 3 kit bash because the thumbs broke on one and all that stuff. But I ended up collecting the 25th anniversary and Retaliation and all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I've got a ton of that stuff, and I went back and collected some of that later on. Some of the vehicles that I never had. Um, but I think probably the Toy Biz stuff was when they came out that started getting me collecting toys again. I was always into comic books as well.
Mm-hmm.
From an early age, and comic books and movies always had a great thing. So like, Toy Biz was coming out. They had the X-Men figures that were cool, so I got those.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. And what a huge jump. I mean, G.I. Joe's always had, really excellent articulation, which was kind of the rarity in figures back then.
yeah,
Um, but what a huge jump with Toy Biz. I was just blown away by how cool their figures were.
me too. And they came off the page. They came off the page of
Yes.
the comic. And they did different things in different styles, and they tried stuff with the different animated series that were out at the time. Um, but I really was into it. I was working after college. I was working for a small company, and then that company wasn't doing so well financially. So the owner was just going to kind of fold it up. But he helped me get a job with his former boss at a comic and toy store up in Cockeysville, Maryland, just north of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like the heyday of coming out, X-Men: Age of
Oh
Apocalypse
wow.
and all that stuff. So there were so many good things coming out, and we were working on it. But yeah, it kind of but it kind of nosedived too. Like I quieted down from that again, and moved back to Virginia after a couple of years, and then it's kind of funny. I went to San Diego Comic Con mentioned in '99, and I was working at an ad agency, handling Subway local store marketing. So I took my week of vacation and said, I'm going to San Diego. I'm going to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was there, and I got to go to the retailer. I don't know if you ever got to go to the retailer expo that's before the main show.
No, no.
It's cool because it's laid back, and you get to meet with all the companies and all that. Since I had friends, Scott and Tay, who owned a comic book store, so I got in under their business license. And so I had been before, same thing in '96 under somebody else's business license. And it was great because I knew people in the industry, comic book creators, and people at people that were in the industry. DC Comics took me out to dinner one night, with
Wow.
the vice president of publishing, Paul Levitz, and uh, Denny O'Neil, Batman editor and longtime writer, and Alan
Mhm.
Grant, and a few other comic
Yeah.
book
Oh my
people.
gosh,
So
Alan Grant. Yeah, I know those names. I as a kid, I didn't have a lot of comics growing up because we were kind of poor, but the comics that I had were just loved. Like I would from page to page, and I would read everything, the advertisements, the
good,
copyright information, just everything cover to cover. You know, the writer,
Yep.
the editor in chief. You know, I was more of a Marvel guy, but I love Teen Titans. I love Batman. You
Yeah.
know,
I would go back and forth between Marvel and DC depending on who was writing and what I enjoyed. I was big
mhm,
Marvel for a long time, and DC got their act together. But it was fun going to the show. So I was at the Retailer Expo and I ran into these guys that I had actually worked for in college in the warehouse, and they were at the time they had moved into from catalog to e-commerce, and they called themselves anotheruniverse.com.
mhm.
And so I actually hung out with them for a couple hours and went out for beers afterwards for happy hour. And then they hired me. They offered me a job three months later. So I went to go work for them as a buyer. And yep, there's the cover Where the Wild Things Are. That was a McFarlane that came out.
I love
And
those toys. I never had any, but I wanted them. I thought they were so damn cool.
Well, what was cool too is like I saw the list that came out that of all the things that Four Horsemen have worked on,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
it's amazing that how much like as an adult collector they have affected, what I got
Yes.
into and what they've worked on.
Yeah. I
They
think
didn't work
a
on
lot.
Where the Wild Things Are, but they worked on so much stuff with Spawn, of course, as you know, and
Yes.
when you interviewed CB, and all related stuff, all the stuff they've done with Mattel, all the DC Universe stuff.
Mhm.
So, but
They've
but
got
yeah, I
a
went to work.
they have a wide reach
Oh yeah,
for all the stuff that they designed and sculpted and came out with is I don't know if you saw it, but Cornboy posted a list,
yes,
and even then it wasn't definitive of all the things, and I mean it was pages of stuff that they had their hand in, and it was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe it, you know.
yeah. I looked at that same list. I couldn't. I was astounded. But I went to work, and we got bought out by a company out on the West Coast, Fandom.com, and I was technically the first employee because I had to wait a few weeks till the money went through.
Hmm.
But we did catalog, e-commerce. We even checked about should we just stop doing the catalog and just e-commerce, and we checked with customers, and customers responded, no, no, I love the catalogs. You
I
know,
love catalogs. Heck yeah.
yeah. So we did that, but I came up with during that time I was working with toy companies to kind of come up with some exclusives or
Hmm.
help them maybe with some stuff and give ideas. And there was a company called N2 Toys. They were formerly Warner Brothers Toys. Former Warner Brothers executive was owning it, and they were doing the Matrix figures. And yep. And so the ones down there on the corner where you got Neo and you got Switch and you got Trinity and you got everybody there,
Hmm.
and Mr. Smith, and the Trinity that came out was the one with the bare arms. I'm like, oh, why didn't they do the one with the jacket? So the first time I ever did a boil and pop is right there in the middle is the one in the white jacket. I popped out, put the figure in a boiling pot of water, popped it out, put the other arms and the jacket on,
Hmm.
and then we sent that up to N2 Toys. We met him at Toy Fair, and the guy's like, you know what? Yeah, I think we can do that. I'll send it over to the factory, and they did it. They got a paint master for me, which is actually the one in the package,
Sweet.
and so we did that as an exclusive. So again, not I'm not a great customizer like Curtis or Jeremy or David or any of those fine folks that are doing it, or painters like Nikki Nicole. But swap and pop, I was doing it,
Hmm.
and it was cool to have that as an exclusive. It was fun, um,
Absolutely. And
and
that movie was so groundbreaking. Um, I I was chomping at the bit for toys for them for that
yeah.
movie. Um, but
Did you
yeah,
ever get any of
that's
these?
I think I had they were kind of statue like. I thought that I had one where Trinity has her two guns and she's kind of where she jumps out the window.
Yep,
Do you remember that?
yep, yep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they did that one. They were again. These are the articulation on them isn't super duper, but I know McFarlane took it over and did a little bit better with them.
Hmm.
Because I used that one of the play sets for my Hellfire Club because that was really cool.
Is that the
Um,
staircase
yeah, the
from the
staircase.
second one?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that used 100 times. I always wanted that. I don't think I ever saw it anywhere for sale, but it's still a super cool. You know, it's kind of an early diorama, I guess.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
There was some cool stuff that they were doing. So,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
we
Absolutely.
did that. We did, I was working with, there was a guy by the name of Steve Barner who was sculpting. He sculpted the Simpsons figures, original Simpsons figures, and then he also
Hmm.
did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And he
Hmm.
was doing statues, but they were doing vinyl statues, kind of like the McFarlane ones that are coming out right now.
Yes. Yes.
And
Those are pretty
they
cool.
they weren't selling too well, and so he'd done Spike and he had done Angel, and Buffy was next. And so he and I were talking on the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed. Diamond's disappointed because they were the exclusive distributor." So I said, "Well, Steve, let me ask this question. Collectors like old cast porcelain statues. Like an actual statue that you would see at a museum. And Steve's like, yeah, but it's more expensive. Like they don't care at that time. Claiborne Moore was doing more action collectibles, and he was doing all sorts of cool statues for Lady
Yes.
Death and
Yeah.
Conan. Rick Bowen Designs was doing
Yes.
every Marvel character you could come up with.
Yes. I remember.
So I said, could you use the same molds? And does it in your contract that you could do this? Does it say cool cast or vinyl? So he looked, nope, doesn't say. And he checked with the factory in China, and they got back to him within a day. Said, yeah, no, we can use the same molds. So he did a statue, and it came out, and I think that's the one that's on the back cover. I sent that to you.
Which one was it?
Oops, that's right there.
I don't know if I put that. I don't think I have that on the slides. Thank you for
Okay.
having that.
Yeah. So that one was so we did that. He sold out of his entire allotment of that. Um,
Sweet.
yeah, so it was fun. It was fun to be able to work with companies like that because nobody was giving them feedback like that.
Hmm.
They couldn't call up Walmart, Target, Kmart, Sears. Those buyers weren't doing anything like that. They didn't know anything. They didn't care about the specialty market or the sci-fi
Right.
fantasy market. Matter of fact, they even if you remember the movie Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the Horseman did figures for McFarlane for that. So there was a playset that came with the horse, and the and they would not carry it at Walmart or Toys R Us because he was headless. He did not have on the skull head, or he
I don't
did not
remember
have
that
the
playset. I don't
Christopher
remember
Walken
ever
head.
seeing that.
Yeah, so
What a great
um,
movie, though. I love
it
that movie.
was. It was. I don't have it anymore except for the horse because Conan's riding it in the background. But so my McFarlane rep called me up, said, "Hey, yeah, you guys need any more?" I'm like, "Yeah, we need more." And he told me it's not available anymore. I'm like, or it's not available at the retailers. They're not going to carry it because he's headless. I'm like, but he's the headless horseman. He has to be
Right.
headless, right?
Yeah.
So we were doing emails, we were doing stuff on our website, and so not carried at any major retailers, and we sold 1,000 of them.
Wow. That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, because there was a gap, I think, that like the retailers, the major retailers, like I think that they didn't realize like how big toys like for adult collectors was. Like they didn't take it seriously. And I think Toys R Us kind of, made it more, they were kind of the store where you like adult collectors like us could go and find, the McFarlane toys and, some of the, a lot of the Toy Biz stuff. So
Yeah,
uh,
and Star Wars. I mean, there was
and
one near
Star
my
Wars,
friend's
Power of
store.
the
We used
Force.
to go in when as soon as someone told us there was new stuff, we were over there buying it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's take a look at more of your stuff here. Okay, so
Oh,
this is some of your Mythic stuff.
yeah.
So when did you start discovering Mythics? Like what's the story on how? So I know you kind of knew who the Horsemen were, but what was your introduction into Mythics?
First started seeing their stuff on Big Bad Toy Store, and I think it was probably either not Avid. I don't know if it's it was the Aether. It was the Aether wave. And I
Hmm.
kept looking, I'm like, they look kind of cool. And then there was the female barbarians. Oh, I might get them for fifty
That's one of
dollars.
my favorite figures is the female barbarian.
Yeah,
I
and,
love
and
that figure.
I do too. And Juno, and
Yes.
I was like, they look cool. Maybe I'll buy one. But I was like, it's $50. That's like two Marvel Legends figures or two Black
Right.
Series figures.
Two Black Series. Yep.
So I held off, and I wish I hadn't. Um, but during COVID, when we're all looking for stuff, I
Yes.
I came across something on Facebook, for the Four Horsemen. And so they had a video chat going on, and I'm trying to remember exactly who it was. I think it was definitely Jeremy, and I think Eric, and I'm not sure if it was Jim or Cornboy. I believe it was Cornboy.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all in separate offices because of COVID. And they started talking about the figures and what they were coming out and what was going on. I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is the behind the scenes stuff. I used to have these conversations with companies, and now they're actually sharing it with. And I kind of liked everything they were talking about, because they were like, I forget what it was about. They're like, oh yeah, the nights are coming up. Oh yeah, we gotta make sure we make enough nights, because people buy tons of nights. And one of the guys was like, really? He's like, oh yeah, they're customizing it. They're putting different heads and they're painting them up. Oh, okay, that's great. So they had the pre-order for Poxus, and Acragor was the one I saw, and the big dragon guy. I'm like, oh, he looks really, really cool. So I checked back in my emails, because it was November of 2021. So I pre-ordered that one along with 2 magical effects. And then I also
Wait, let's go.
I think go back one. I think there was Acragor.
Yeah.
He's on the shelf.
Yeah,
There
I
he is.
saw him there. Yep.
There he is. So I pre-ordered that one, and then a month later they did their first figure obscura, which was Krampus. And I don't have a picture of Krampus, and I don't have him out because he's in with my Christmas stuff. But I bought Krampus because it kind of falls in with the Austrian German background, and I got that. That was the first figure I actually physically had in hand, and I was like, oh wow, like
and that was it.
That was it. That was Krampus was the first one in hand that kind of broke the seal of spending on it. And later, a few months later, they had their first in stock sale. I got a Black Knight, an Orc, and then a Templar and Sir Gerard. And I didn't understand how that it was going to sell out quickly. So I tried to go back and go get more, and I could only get an Orc and I think one more Templar or something like that. Wish I could have bought more, because they were so good. I've bought more of the figures since then.
Definitely.
So I've done pre-orders. I bought a few things from Big Bad Toy Store, but I've kept it to buying it from the Horsemen really since then. I've got the Sleepy Hollow. I've got the Headless Horseman. I've got Red Death. I've got Father Christmas. I've got Jacob Marley. I'm really enjoying all the cool stuff they do with figures here. And then, as you showed the picture there of my Egyptian theme.
Oh yeah,
I love Anubis and Bastet, and then you can see I turned Bastet into a couple of Egyptian goddesses with the help of uber talented David Williams. So,
oh man, yeah, he was on the show a few episodes ago, and
I watched it.
He had posted a picture of his repaint of Thrace. Like that head just blew me away, and I reached out to him like, David, please, and he's like, oh yeah, so he's so gentle and sure, no problem, just send it to me, and a couple dollars, I mean, super affordable to get his repaints. Maybe I think he should charge more, because no,
I got more work from him. Don't want to charge more than that.
Just amazing work that he did with those.
Yeah, I mean, look at the details that you can see on the head. So that I picked up. Of course, I did the same thing that you did. I got the Thrace head because it's such a beautiful head. Eric sculpted there, and I got the other Egyptian head and the 2 torsos from Dusk Till Dawn Studios.
Okay, I was going to ask that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I talked to communicated through the Facebook chat with David. It's like, this is, I just gave him in general, this is what I'm kind of looking for. And he's like, okay, cool, got it. And he was busy, he had IshCon to go to, where they did the release of, his Buzz Off. Then he was busy, he had your show to do, and he had Dork to do. He's a busy guy. It's cool.
That was kind of his weekend. It was sweet for me, because his episode was up that following Tuesday, right after the IshCon thing, and it was just awesome. It was like kind of like his week.
It was
to be honored, and he deserved it, because I like his talent and just him as a person. Is just such a great guy.
and I'm so happy that he's doing some other stuff with the Four Horsemen. He's doing the pins for Legious Con this
Yes,
year.
we
So
need those pins.
and I hope it leads him to more things because he's like you said, he's just talented. But I was so happy. He sent me the pictures and he's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "They're gorgeous." He's like, "Do you need any changes?" I'm like, "No, no, I don't.
Don't mess with it. It's perfect.
No,
I'm happy. Yeah,
no."
yeah. I was the same way. He sent it to me, and he's like, "I messed up on it, so I redid it." And I'm like, "Dude, you didn't even have to. I mean, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was perfect." So yeah,
Yeah.
He did the Thrace one for me, and then he has this beautiful. I love Templars,
Hmm.
but
Me
the
too.
female mythics was the you know the criteria for me. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy the female mythics. I'm not gonna buy any others. So I love the Templars, and so he did the relic. He did a relic female Templar using the Lady Averona head, which is awesome. And he repainted the Averona head, and I'm like, I
Cool.
gotta do that. That looks amazing. And
Yeah,
so he painted me an Averona head, and I love it.
that's
Super
cool.
cool.
No, and I've got also picked up because I ended up buying more figures to do this. I mean, I've got my two regular figures, and I bought I think six more sets because I wanted to do some Bastet stuff. And then Mark Calvo, I don't know if you talked to him yet.
Yeah, no, not
Uh,
yet, but I know who he is for sure.
yeah, he's gonna be at Legion's Con, so pin him down. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he did
Mm-hmm.
several beautifully painted heads, male and female. So I've got those in the collection in there. I've got you saw in the picture. I've got Isis from the DC line.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
let's
I don't
go
know if that
back
one was a.
here.
I don't know if that one
Let's.
was a one from. There
Oops,
she is.
wrong
There
one.
you go.
Wrong one.
One more.
There
There
we
it is.
go.
Yeah, she's in the white outfit. She was from the
Yes.
DC line. I don't know if that was one that the Horseman sculpted or not. Then there's also a couple pieces. I've got the big alligator, which was from or crocodile, I should say, from McFarlane did a line, and it was Egyptian themed, and he
Yeah.
did all sorts of great. I mean, I still have them. I mean, I put a few of them in, and I didn't send you one picture, but I took them all out and put them with my extreme sets when they first came out because it was so cool. But I've got Isis who's in there, and I bought a couple of Egyptian, the obelisk and the other statue there in
Yeah, I
front.
love this. I love this whole setup. Looks like you've got Moon Knight back there. I
Yep.
see the Monster Force Pharaoh guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Khonshu's hiding in the
yeah,
background there.
Khonshu's back there hanging out. Yeah, I love this. The whole setup. What is that? That's right in front of the two David Williams. I can't make out what that is.
Oh, is that is this the gator? Oh,
Yeah, I can't see what that
th-
is.
this guy?
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't figure it out from the picture. I'm like, what is that?
I'm not sure what his name is off the top of my head, but he was from the McFarlane line because it was like him. There was a jackal. There was inspired by Horus
Yeah.
And I used one of the heads too from that and put him on
Mhm.
and put him on one of the Nubis figures. So
Yeah, I love
amazing
that whole
amazing
setup.
detail. They set up really well. Isis, unfortunately, that I have from her, that she's falling apart. So I need to get her a redone. Maybe David will get David some parts again to repaint
Yeah,
for her.
yeah.
So,
Hit him up. He will
but I was
do it.
excited. Eric said he's going to do more. They're going to do a sub line.
Yes, that's. I don't know if they just knew that Anubis and Bastet were going to be a hit, but obviously they were. So them deciding to do more along that lines is awesome. I love that they, it's like anything is fluid and organic. It's like we're doing figure obscura, but we're also going to pick this cool line of Egyptians and Egyptian gods, and we're gonna release more of those. So I think that's awesome that they decided to do that. That's super cool.
And I saw the interview that Jeremy and Eric did on Mythic Conversations about it, and you could just tell from Eric's voice how excited he was to
Yes,
do the Egyptian stuff.
100%.
And it was funny because I did go back to look on the list. I was like, yeah, they didn't do the McFarlane Egyptian. I wonder if that was always kind of like maybe stuck in the back of the mind of Eric. Like, I really wanted to do this, but I wanted to do it my way. Now he can.
Yeah,
and even do it
absolutely.
even better with all the tools and technology that have moved forward. And I think he talked about visiting a museum, and I was like, I can't imagine going through. I mean, I watch Egyptian shows on TV all the time on
Me too.
Discovery
Yeah.
and Nat Geo, and they're uncovering the tombs and the big huge museum in Cairo where they've got King Tut's all the King Tut stuff
Hmm.
and everything, and I mean they've got rooms and rooms and rooms. I'm like, man, you need to send people like Eric there. Just he's going to go there with his sketch pad and his
Just soak
and
up
a camera
all
and just
the, yeah.
soak it up. Let him do that because he is like us. He loves that type of stuff, and
Yes.
I think it comes out in his work. I mean, to me these were two of the finest figures that they've produced.
I totally agree. Yeah, that Bastet just jumped to like figure of the year status for me. It's just such a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful figure. And then
So,
I
but
love that it came with other, other pieces,
oh, weren't those
accessories for other
great?
pieces. Yeah. I love
All
it.
these
Excellent.
the Coptic jars, the statue. I since I had extra Bastets, my wife got the Bastet statue since she likes cats, and I don't
Mhm.
allow cats in the house because I'm allergic, and cats don't generally like me. I'm a dog person, but she just got my Panther from the Tiger figure, so she was very happy to get that.
Awesome. Awesome. So Arakagor was your first, then you started buying, is there like a faction or a species that you tend
No,
towards? Because I'm
no,
noticing that you're like me, you're liking a lot of the female mythics.
I like the female mythics, but I'm buying them. I'm buying them all. I mean, I've got every single faction basically represented in my collection, and then I'm moving some stuff around. I mean, I've got the Xylonis flock. I think I sent you a picture of that. I don't know if I sent you the one. I've got Swamp Thing in there now.
Let's
Um,
see.
no, yeah, I don't think I
Let's see
had the
what we
Swamp.
got.
There's Aetheron and a few other folks in there. I think King Conan sitting back there on the throne.
Of course, gotta have King Conan in there. I
Yeah, and
love your Templars.
I
You
even
got
have the
Adriana.
Indiana Jones Templar fits in with it really nice.
Yeah, you got to do the at the end where
Yeah,
the Templar was like, "You have chosen."
poorly.
Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, there's my battle scene. I took the
Oh man,
extreme sets, big castle, and I've got that. I mean, and I still have more figures. I need to figure out a way to get more on there. But if they fall down, it's only the floor. They're not falling off a shelf.
right?
And
Yes, absolutely. But
um,
Fezzik,
yeah,
uh, uh,
Fezzik was on sale at the Big Bad Toy Store for like I think $10, and he came with a cool cape that's now on the Green Dragon. I've got it down here.
oh, there you go.
And then the figure next to Fezzik I've got is the Azrael from White Knight.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah.
and then next to him is actually a custom kit bash. It's Valak with a Master Wang head.
Oh,
They fits on perfectly. Just a little
I
bit of
like
blue
that.
tack, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I like that.
So, but
What
no,
was
I
that?
like the knights. I like the barbarians. I like the. You
Me
could probably
too.
saw on my shirt. I've got the House of the.
Yes.
I'm all into the one that they released last year at G-Con, Bodbear and Attilas and Nev and all those. I've got
Oh
them
man,
on order.
I can't wait. I can't
We
wait. That wave is gonna be. Oh man, I can't
I
wait to
ordered
get my hands on that stuff.
I ordered two bears, and then it was funny. I was ordering some T-shirts from Motu Joe, and I'm showing my wife, and she wanted, of course, the House of the Noble Pooh Bear T-shirt.
That's adorable. That's
So
adorable.
no, but I like them, and they've done a great job of fleshing out all the characters and giving us options. There he is with his cape. The dragon's wearing Fezzik's cape.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Yeah, absolutely.
I've got the
Yeah,
one on order from CJ CGem.
see
Uh,
Jessam.
yep, CGem. Thank you, CGem. So that looks great. But I talked to my wife. I said, honey, if you want to get back into sewing, you used to do a lot of sewing. If you want to do that, there's the Strump family's doing stuff, and these
Yeah,
guys are doing stuff,
absolutely.
and so she's like, yeah, we'll go to the fabric store because I need some stuff for the two Egyptian goddesses to give them some like wraps around the cover up
Absolutely.
the edges. But no, they're fun. I used a combination of the stands from Figure Lab that they're the individual stands,
Hmm.
and for the big guys, I found a really cool stand online. Somebody had posted it on one of the Facebook groups, and it's metal, and it screws in to the base, and it's flexible, and you can do whatever. You got
You have to
five
send
or
me the
six
link
different.
on that.
I will. It's only you can buy a set of 3 for $13,
Oh wow,
and it
that's a good
comes in a
deal.
nice little plastic case that you can reuse for stuff. I've got stuff I'm taking to Legion's Con for Pop and Swap. I got all my fodder in one of them.
Hmm.
I've got a bunch of other things, but it's amazing because like I spend so much money on stands for other figures trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And
Hmm.
I tried the Four Horsemen stands I got from Big Bad Toy Store, but they didn't fit perfectly, so I had to get my grinder out and get the paint off of them and
Hmm.
stick it in there. But I'm like, they're okay, but yeah, these other ones they're a little bit more expensive, but they're so much better for the big figures. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
they're wonderful.
The horseman stands are okay. I mean, they work in a pinch. They kind of take up, a lot of space around the figure.
They do.
It's almost like a good showcase, if you have like a test shot or something, or you have one that's got like a flowing cape or something. It's cool, but I think they should update their stands or maybe have a different variety of stand types.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was
that's awesome.
this was the one right here.
I love that.
Oops, make sure I get.
Yeah.
So it screws onto the base, and you've got multiple places that you can do it on the
Hmm.
base. And the clip here you can put, there's like 4 or 5 different clips that you can put. Um and like I said, you don't have to see it. Like I just bend it down, and you can
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it
nice.
hides behind the figure, so it's
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Good quality. Hope you know Four Horsemen should look into it, slap a Four Horsemen logo on it, and they're off to the races.
I would buy them. Yeah, they had their stands at IshCon, and I grabbed. They're like $5,
Yeah,
so I grabbed probably 5 or 6. Um, just I
but,
I
but
I
I'm
I
what are you? I was
I
going to ask,
worry
what are you
about
looking
them.
forward?
I worry about them diving off of the shelves.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had a few that I think our house might be a little haunted too, but I they do the dives. I get home, and Juno is on the floor, and I'm like, oh. So I got
Oh
this
no.
piece of foam that I put on the because the shelf I have is kind of a bookcase,
Hmm.
but the bookcase I have is sitting on another an IKEA cabinet, and so it's a
Oh,
hardwood. So I got a nice big thick piece of foam. So if they do their swan dive, then at least they'll land on the foam.
that's
Um,
smart.
yeah.
Yeah, it's you know what and it's probably that's why most of mine are on the floor right now. But um, I will say this, that when it at least that they when they fall over on my floor here, I used to get really agitated. I'm like, why won't they stand? I said, you know what? It's an opportunity for me to play with my figures, put them
Yes.
together. I've got, or I get a new batch in, new in stock sale. Time to do some kit bashes. I
Yes.
bought some heads. I went to Maryland Toy Expo this year,
Hmm.
which was so much fun. I did a trade with Lenny from Wolf King, and he had the street team there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were selling. So I bought a bunch of stuff from them, and then I also bought some things from the Wolf King. Met Jesse, got a chance to meet Jesse and
Super.
Jordan from Purple Gang, and Van was there.
Great guys.
Oh,
Jesse, half baby, half bear, all heart. That guy is one of the best. And
I
Jordan
yeah,
is, Purple Gang, man. That's my crew. Those guys are the best guys.
I had
Ambassadors of goodness and
yes,
wholesomeness.
I spent a ton of time there. I mean, I walked the show. I walked both buildings at the toy at the it's at the State Fairgrounds at Timonium.
Hmm.
Um, and but I was there first in line for them. They had Mark who runs the show, had a separate line for us for Mythic Legion. So we just walked in. There was 10 people ahead of me. Everybody got everything, and they said, "Hey, one of everything, and then later on you guys can come back." And
Hmm.
okay, so we hung out, like we were hanging out at the table.
Oh
Marty
yeah.
Marty from the Cabal was there. He shot by. Hey, Heinrich, great to meet you in person. And people seen some of my posts or comments, and we were talking, and we just had a fun time talking toys. And like I told my wife when I got home, it's like I was with my people. This is
Yes.
the fun part of going to the shows that I missed.
Yes.
I used to do a lot of local comic book shows, but I haven't been to a show since in 20 years.
Mhm.
So it was fun to go there. Looking forward to Legion's Con. I was
Oh
thinking about
man,
going to IshCon, but I'm like, I can't do IshCon and Legion's Con. It's not gonna work.
Legion's Con. Did you go last year to Legion's Con?
No, no. This is gonna be the
Okay,
first year I've talked the wife into it.
dude,
So
it's
it's my
it's
birthday. My birthday weekend. My birthday is on Thursday, and then so we're so
okay. I think my birthday is like 2 weeks before.
uh,
So awesome.
well, I heard you got to go. You're going to be intern for a day. I was hoping to get intern for a day because it was going to be on my birthday, but I didn't make it. I didn't
You
make
got
the
to
cut.
keep trying every
I
year.
will.
Just keep
I will.
trying. Yeah, I'm blown away and super honored. It was funny because like I felt guilty because I got picked and other people didn't. So like I was kind of like I didn't want to flaunt it. I didn't want to be like I'm chosen for intern. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I'll be humble about it and not you know even though I was freaking out inside, I was kind of like thank you. It's an honor. I appreciate it. But
No, be excited,
I
man. You know
freaked
what?
out.
We're happy for you. I'm happy for anybody that gets to go. I mean, all I've heard is incredible stuff about it and the
Mhm.
opportunities to go see them. I mean, nobody else is doing this in the toy industry. I mean, this is fun.
Nobody. Yeah,
This is
nobody.
an engagement, deep engagement. Like they get it. They get
Yeah.
us, and
I mean,
that's
it's
what I.
literally Charlie going into the chocolate factory. You know what I
You
mean?
got it.
Just seeing the magic and where it's all
Yeah,
created and Eric is creating. It's just I don't know. I'm just
you're gonna have a blast, man.
speechless.
You better you need to get a tripod like me so you can carry it. You don't have to hold your phone the whole time. You can just put the tripod down
I
and
need a
and
steady
film.
cam. I need a steady cam.
Yeah,
That way I can just.
do it.
I don't know what their policy is. I would love to
Find out.
stream or tape, but they might be like, they might knock the camera out of my hand and be like, Greg's like, no, no cameras
No,
here. I
no,
don't know.
you know
I'll,
what?
I'll have to look into it, but I would love that.
Look into it because that way you can maybe say, hey Jeremy, can we do a new to Mythics with you?
Absolutely. Kind of segue
Do it.
into that
Yeah.
as he's eating his pizza. Like, hey, can I?
Get
I
somebody
think,
get
I
somebody
think,
bring some Bojangles for him.
yes, yeah, I'll bribe him for sure. I think Big Dub did a stream of being there. I think I don't know if but I think they had to be careful just in case there might be something there that you know.
Yeah. I think I'd talk to them, see what it is. Maybe it's like, hey, you can do like a 5-minute segment or something,
Mhm.
and then you're done. Who knows?
I
But
mean, I'll be taking some pictures for sure.
yeah, I saw pictures. I remember seeing pictures from people, so I know that.
Yeah, I just want to just soak it in.
Yeah,
You know,
but
I'm
I'm
gonna
looking.
hide in the bathroom. My plan is to hide in the bathroom, and then when it's over, then I'll come out and just be like, you know, just absorbing the greatness of the
There we
place.
go. There you go. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to it and getting to meet everybody in the community that we've been communicating
100%.
via Facebook, and
Yes.
meeting Walter and Cullen, who I've traded with and talked to online a bunch of times, and
Such a great
um,
guy. He's one of the first people that I really connected with in the community. He's kind of like, not a gatekeeper, but he's like a welcoming, you know, he wants to meet everybody. He wants, to promote goodness and just, welcomeness to, everybody. He's just always helpful and, just a great guy.
yeah, no, and I'd like to meet. Like I said, there's so many people that have we've reached out, we've spoken with, we've
Mhm.
shared information, and like everybody, you've been so welcoming too, and I really enjoy it. And I found a couple people on some of my local groups went to Maryland Toy Show, bought their first Mythics. So I've hey, join the cabal. A couple of them did. I said, you got any questions? Just ask. I was like,
Absolutely.
everybody's on here, man. Everybody
Yes.
here is positive. Nobody's trying to get one over on
Right.
anybody. And
And
you
we've
know,
all been new to Mythics. We've all been new. So it's fun to help, steward those people. Like, hey, if you have any questions, because it's like, there's a lot to learn. You know what I mean? Like the in stock sales or the test shot sale or, they're different things that they have that figure obscura. It's like, you don't know. I've seen people ask questions like, hey, I'm new. I don't know, is this in stock sale? Is it temporary? Is it going away? you know, so there's a lot to learn, you know, within the community and within the you know, the company. So it's cool to help each other and to not get that vindictiveness, or you know, people are not rude to you if you're asking questions like, hey, I have a question, you know, what is this adapter for? And people,
Yep.
they'll laugh and joke about it, but you know, it's informative, and they're not ridiculing you or making you feel, you know, dumb for asking. And I love that.
No. Well, one of the figures I got was Dornia, who's the She-Ra
Mhm.
tribute figure, and she has the cape. I'm trying to figure out how to put the cape on, and I'm like, okay, let me Google it. And let me Google it because I did try looking on the Source Horseman
Mhm.
website, and I wasn't very successful. And I realized, there's no search function on here. I need to talk to Jeremy about that. He has a search function
Mhm.
on that. But I Googled it, found it. It was wrong. It directed me right to the Source Horseman page, and I'm like, oh, so I'm like, do. Oh, it worked. Got it. Okay. So, but yeah, there's so much, and popping and swapping. People have been asking questions. So trying to, what's 1.0, what's 2.0, what's,
Yes.
Brute. We got
Yes.
Brute, we got Ogre, we got all sorts of cool stuff. So
Yeah, it's there's some stuff to learn. Like I had no idea. I'm like, what are they talking about? 1.0, 2.0? I don't understand this. So it takes a while to understand. We did an episode, me and my friends, Matt and
yes,
Eric, of the scale episode, and I was kind of like the new guy, like I didn't understand. So I'm like, can you put the brute next to the ogre, that way I can see the difference, or
yep.
you know, can I see the, you know, so it takes a while to understand everything, but people are so gracious and friendly. And
They, they are, and I saw that episode. It was a cool episode. Dorklair build for Dorklair did a brief one too for that.
yes, yeah, that was
So
that was kind of our platform to see, like, you know, how did he lay it out, what did he do. And he was just so, like, I think the video was like 6 minutes,
mhm,
but it was chock full of everything that you would need to know. We just
yep.
wanted to do it visually so that people could see the difference,
No,
you
it's
know.
it's a perfect one. It's like you guys should they should be playing that one at Legion's Con for all the new people.
Hmm, hmm.
So that's a great one. That one, and the did you ever see the video of the first Kickstarter that that Four Horsemen did?
Like
Where-
the video.
Yeah, the actual video for Kickstarter where they actually introduced the
Yes,
figures.
yes, I love that. I
Me
just
too.
saw it recently. I just
Oh,
saw it like a few weeks ago, I think.
yeah, somebody put it up, and I was like, you guys, they should be
Yes,
putting that up on the big TV screen. They should that
absolutely.
before Legion's Con. It's so much. It's funny because it's like they look so nervous. Like, is it going to sell? Yes,
Right.
it will sell. It did sell.
Right. I know. And I'm looking at it like, oh, I wish that I had, you know, invested in the Kickstarter and been there at the beginning.
Oh no, me too. A buddy of mine who's here in Manassas, Zach. Big shout out to Zach because he and I traded on some stuff. He helped me with the mystery
Sweet.
box when I was out in the middle of vacation, couldn't get a signal.
I
Um,
love those mystery boxes.
Zach, a couple years ago, did a monster trade. I won't say with who, but he did a monster trade with somebody that you've spoken with,
Hmm.
and he traded Marvel Legends for the early stuff, and
Oh,
he's
wow.
it worked out for both sides. It
Right.
worked out for both sides. But Zach was like, oh yeah, I was floored that somebody would want to do this trade, and I was like, but he's like, I got out of Marvel Legends and got into full force into Mythic Legions, and I still do a little dabble here and there and stuff like that. And he paints. He's painted some of those lion heads that you saw. He
Yeah, I
painted
was
the
looking at those.
he painted the two from Planetary Dogs that I ordered, and then the other one was a Legion shop exclusive that I got when they were shutting it down. Zach did a great job on those. I really appreciate it. I
Mhm.
traded him a couple figures for it.
Have
So
you have you tried painting yourself?
no, um, I'm my creative outlet is other things. I can pop and swap and work with
Hmm.
people of what colors. I'm not a paintbrush. My dad is a chef. He's super creative. Cakes and doing stuff with displays, stuff for displays for
Hmm.
meals and all that. It skipped over me. It went to my youngest brother, who's a graphic artist and animator.
Awesome.
Um, so I will be a patron of the arts, and
Absolutely. And I'm the same way. Yeah, I don't mind painting. It's fun. I love being in the customizer studio. You should check it out.
Yes, I want to.
I totally recommend the customizing studio. They don't judge what you're working on. A lot of times they won't even ask. You know, every once in a while somebody like Mira will say, "What's everybody working on?" You know, and they'll hold up their, you know, they'll hold up their figure like this is what I'm doing, and it's awesome. Like Emil, who is, you know, customizing Lord, he'll
Love
give
his
a
stuff.
preview. He'll give a
Love it,
preview. He'll be like, you know, don't tell anybody, but this is, you know, this is what I'm, and it's like, whoa, you know, it's like, wow. But it's just fun to see people being creative and just kind of sharing that.
Yeah, I'll have to check it
vibe.
out. I like it. I just I think part of it is patience and understanding. Like you know, I worked years ago manufacturing with candle companies, and I learned a little bit about stuff, but I'm not great with the Pantones and the colors and mixing and
Leave it to the
you
pros, right?
you leave it to the pros. Listen,
Yeah.
I know enough that what is it? Like, I'd like to get a car one day and have it painted midnight blue, like the BMW Z3. You know, it's adding a certain amount of black to the blue to get that sheen. That's all I
Yes.
know. That's it. I don't
Yeah.
know anything else.
Yeah. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's all I need to know. So no,
So what's
but it's fun. I like seeing everybody's different painted heads and what they're coming up with and
yeah, it's a
um
huge it's a huge mini, which is an anti, but it's a huge industry, you know, that people are making money or making a living off of
yes.
selling these heads from uh, the, you know, the studio figures that they're, you know, it's amazing.
Well, and it's such an amazing. It takes an amazing group like Four Horsemen to encourage it, to set the guidelines up, to that all these folks that are doing creative. I saw your interview with Curtis, and Curtis had never painted before, and now he's a force
Mhm.
of nature
Yes.
in the customizing field. You know, David, who's a tattoo artist and doing this stuff. Um, I joked around with Cullen. We were having a back and forth. Somebody had did a tattoo on one of the on an ogre or a half giant. I said, "Huh, maybe we could get David to do like some
That
tattoos,
would be
tattoos
awesome.
that we can put on our figures and stuff like
Yeah,
that."
that would be sweet.
So I'm an idea guy. I come up with this type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's my deal. And you know, trying to come up with ways like you saw my backgrounds. That was a extreme sets
Mhm.
that I did. You know, that's easy and fun to do. So I, you know, I've done the inserts. I've saved all my inserts from all my figures, so I can do
Mhm.
all my shelves. I can put them up and when I need it, or take them down. And but yeah, I appreciate the creative outlet that it's helped create for a lot of people that didn't know
Yeah,
they
it's
needed
amazing.
it or wanted it. It's great.
Yeah. And I think it brings people closer, the community closer together. You know, it's like
100%.
this artist knows this artist, and you know, they you know, they share and they collaborate, or they, you know, and I love that, you know, that they're so kind to each other. There's not a competitive, if it's competitive, it's competitive towards making myself better. It's
Yes.
not, you know, I want to be better than this guy or that, or you know what I mean? It's not like that here, and I love that too.
Well, and the Four Horsemen too. No, this is driving the train of the collecting because I know when they introduced their new wave, and Curtis actually mentioned it, and I was kind of funny because that's exactly how my thought process. What can I do to customize or pop and swap? You know, which ones do I want to keep as the
Mhm.
figure? I love the figure. Okay, great. What can I use the other ones for?
Right.
What kind of ideas that I kind of formulate in my brain? You know, that I want to do that with. And you know, the set and then Anubis, I bought a couple sets. I was like, yeah, and then I had to buy some more because I'm like, I got ideas. I was looking on Planetary
Right.
Dogs, and I was looking at Dust Till Dawn, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get some stuff and make my own somehow. And
Right. Yeah, they're a
it's
good canvas to start, you know, creating on, the
they
Stet and
are
Anubis. Yeah,
they are. So I think they've got such a great future with the lines that they're working on.
absolutely.
And, you know, somebody asked, "Well, they're ever gonna go to Walmart, Target?" No, we don't want them at Walmart, Target. That's not, you know.
I had that conversation with Jim, who I would love to get on one day, but that didn't sound right. To have him on my show one day, but and I asked him, I'm like, are you guys happy with the 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 model that you guys have with the the business size that you have? And he's like, absolutely, this is perfect, for us, because it's kind of a grassroots thing. We're able to come to the shows and welcome people and take pictures and be there with you guys and introduce the toys to new people and stuff. If it was a bigger corporation, we wouldn't be able to do that. And I was like, yeah, that's true.
No, very, very true. And
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 we
people,
appreciate it. It's awesome to to meet Jeremy and CB and Eric and Jim. They're just the nicest, most approachable guys.
I'm so looking forward to meeting them in person. And like, I know Jeremy's a big Neil Gaiman Sandman fan. He did those
Mhm.
customs based on the Endless. And I posted to him back. I have a couple of hardcovers where I got signed in sketches of Sandman done. So
Wow.
by artists Charles Vess and Mark. So that's Mark's last name, but those were ones I got done at a local show because they were
Mhm.
both there and had my hardcover. So it's a lot of,
Awesome.
everybody has kind of similar backgrounds, but we all kind of like,
Yes.
have unique stuff that we enjoy and
It's
all that.
diverse but connected.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're stoked. You're ready for Legion's Con. How are you preparing, and what are you looking forward to when you get there?
I'm preparing by trying to sell off some stuff so I can make some more money.
I've noticed a lot of sales posts in the Cabal, and I might be doing the same thing.
Yeah. I'm going to try to set up maybe some trades with some other stuff before when we get there. I'm really, like, I think probably the biggest things, I'm just looking forward to meeting everybody in person. That we've been, and I'm looking forward to seeing again some of the all those wonderful customizers at their table, and getting to meet the
Yes.
great Godfather Dennis Derby and
Oh,
Neil, who I mean, it's Neil's sense of humor just so
yeah.
funny.
They're two wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Like I had been looking for Melina, who's the tribute Evil Lynn
Hmm.
figure, and I was kind of looking on the tables for her. And I had mentioned to my friend Noah Pratt. I said I'm looking for Melina, and he's like, Dennis has her on the table, and I was like, oh sweet. And I didn't get around to going over there until like the end of the show, and so I went over there, and I was almost broke. And I was like, oh shoot, I want it. And he's like, you want it? Just take it, and just pay me. So I think I paid him like a month later, um,
Wow.
and just super cool. I'd never met him. I didn't know him, but I'd heard of him,
Right.
and so just that kindness and generosity and coolness.
Yeah.
He's another one of those that, if you're missing a part, ask
Yep.
Dennis, and he's always super happy to ship out whatever, and so I reciprocate. If he's looking for something, I think he wanted an extra, it's a snag or something, and I think I had an extra, or was it Kador? Anyways, it's one of the reissues, and I sent it, like, I'm like, here right away, and he's like, what do you need? I'm like, don't worry about it. And I think he sent me some parts or something else,
Oh,
or
cool.
traded something, but he's
Yeah.
just another one of those solid, amazing people. But yeah, so at Legion's Con, when the doors open, there's like a mad rush and a flurry, and people are in lines and people are excited. But it's awesome because as soon as the doors close, and people go up and they'll take a nap, or they'll grab a sandwich, or they'll be in the pub, it switches gears. And so people are not in sale mode. They're in, let's hang out, let's enjoy each other's company. And so you walk in the lobby, and I remember last year I didn't know a lot of people. I knew who they were, but I didn't know them personally.
Right.
And I was just like a who's who. I'm like, okay, there's Emil talking to David Williams, and there's Chris Durant talking, and there's Steph talking to, and I was just like, all Jordan and Van were walking by in purple outfits, and it was just like I knew who all these people were, but I just didn't know them yet. but it was awesome because people just, hi, I'm, and new friends were being made, and it was just an amazing time. But it was a different gear. It was a relax and enjoy each other's company gear. So
I'm looking forward to that. I couldn't get a room because they booked up at the Marriott, so I'm down the street at the Hyatt. So
okay,
but it's a mile away. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you might not do much sleeping. You might, because I think I was up until 2 or 3. I would check on my fiance. She would be in the room, having her snacks and watching stuff and doing her nails and being crafty. And I'm like, okay, you're good. Make sure she had some food, and then I would get back out there. And
yeah,
I only had 2 or 3 days. So
I know. We'll see what happens. I'm at a stage where I need a little bit more sleep than if I get that. But I think it'll be exciting. I think it'll be fun. My wife is like,
it's gonna be amazing.
I don't know how excited I'm gonna be. Like, trust me, you're gonna meet some people. It's gonna be fun.
It'll be different. Tell her, hey, Legion's ladies.
I did.
Legion's ladies. They're super awesome people.
I did.
But it's gonna be fun.
And D. Blake's has something special that I gave him an idea at Maryland Toy Fair. So he's like, oh yeah, I'll make that up. Like, cool. Bring my wife, and that's for her. He's like, I got you covered. So, cool guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you being on the show. I've taken up an hour and 17 minutes, and I appreciate you showing us some of your collection. I probably have more slides that we did not get to, but I appreciate it. Maybe we can get to them next time.
That sounds great. Again. Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you for your time today. It's an honor to be here with like the greats that have gone before me, and I hope you wish you much success on the podcast world, because I know that let me know when you're ready to post, because I'll put it to my local group so everybody can check it out.
Sure. Yeah, it should be. I had the dates. I'll send it to you. It's I think it's mid to late September, I believe.
Okay, perfect.
But I'll let you know ahead of time. But I like to interview people that are established in the community, but I also love to talk to people that are newer to the community, or that are still learning, or people people like yourself that have been around a while, but are still fairly new, still have a newer collection. And I love to see what you got. Oh, so what by the way, what is your favorite figure? If you have one, what is it? A Rakagor, your first, or?
No, it's probably close. I will say this. I think the Templars probably I like them, and then Black Knight are my two favorites.
Yes. Good answer.
I think my favorite figure obscure is easy, because it's the Anubis and Beset.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you what, it's not that I dislike any of them. They just, the new Skellies are phenomenal. They're just
amazing figures,
you play with them. Oh, hold on. Are you doing this 1,000 Swigs?
Yes. I need to start working on mine. Oh man, we got an exclusive. What does that say? Can you read it?
It says, Heinrich and Anna are my ride out of this dump.
I love it. That's awesome.
So I gave him the Skelly hands.
Yeah, I see that.
Gave him the Skelly hands. Gave him the Valak, cover. So
yeah, well done, sir. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I need to work on mine. I've been pushing it off, and I need to one of these weekends.
And then this was the fun one to do, the Valak, the Scaphoid with the Skelly. He's turning into Scaphoid.
Yeah, my fiance's just like, me too. Yeah, I got home one day, and my fiance's like, "What's a swig?" And I just started laughing. I'm like, "That's a cool little goblin," and people are customizing it and bringing it to Legion's Con. So
yeah,
a lot of fun.
Great way to sell more swigs.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. But it's a great figure, so it's cool. Anyways, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on, and I will talk to you again. Thanks, friends, for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, guys.
Right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Cabal.
Peace. See ya.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.
Like temporary ones.
I was just scrolling my phone and somebody made a fucking loincloth.